And right now, I'd like to welcome from, it doesn't look that sunny behind you, but I'll call it for what it's usually called, sunny Las Vegas, Mr. Peter Mills. Peter, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Now, this is actually kind of a pilot, if you will, for a new show, kind of a whole new topic, which I'm very interested in. Met you out in Olympia weekend, and I'm wearing Ray Coach's shirt from Country Crush, so I want to make sure we give Ray the plugs he deserves, because without Ray, we wouldn't be doing the show, because Ray introduced us. Basically, it's a new program, a little different type of format than we usually have on MSTV. It's called Fitness Finance, the Power of Money and Muscle. What the hell does that all mean, encompassed in the Cliff Notes version, if you will, Peter?
Well, basically, Joe, what it is there's a huge gap in our society right now between the wealthy and the not so wealthy, and it's getting wider. And that gap is not because of people not working hard. We all work hard. The difference is knowing what to do, how to do it, how to properly save your money, how to manage your money, how to earn more money, but more importantly, how to keep the money that you've earned and not give it away. Mm-hmm. You notice the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. I was poor when I grew up. Not poor anymore. I've been rich and I've been poor, and I'm going to tell you, rich beats the shit out of poor.
Certainly does. Now, what is your background a little bit, if you want to tell the people?
I grew up in a good, hard working class family. My father worked in a body shop, ended up owning a body shop, hard working guy, but we never just seemed to break that next tier. Paycheck to paycheck like most of America lives. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to go to medical school. I had the grades, I had everything. I was accepted to the University of Pennsylvania, but we just couldn't afford it. Yeah. There wasn't grants and enough money, so I started working for my dad in the body shop. He would get cars and fix them up and try to sell them. And I said, well, Dad, you're buying this car for $500, putting $500 to work in it and selling for $1,000. You're not making any money.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, but people don't have any more money. That's all they could afford. So I said, well, let's finance them. So we started financing cars and getting bigger. We eventually got a small car lot, got a bigger car lot. And I said to my dad, Dad, you're on your own now. You got this knocked. I'll still run your financing. But if I'm making this kind of money financing cars, what if I finance a bigger ticket item like a house or a building or a business? So I started working for a mortgage broker. Ended up buying the brokerage, growing. Eventually, 3 years ago, my wife and I, we sold the third largest mortgage bank in the country. So we retired. Retirement sucks. Couldn't do it. Back to work. And this show is about sharing the mistakes that I made, the things that I've learned. I don't want to belong to that elite club because there's them and then there's us. I'm still us.
Okay.
And I want to bring that knowledge from up there to the rest of us. I think it'll be helpful.
And definitely when it comes to the whole fitness industry and things like that, many people spend a lot of money, but they don't earn a lot of money. And there's ways that they could save money while spending it and then possibly maybe investing and earning. So that's kind of where we're kind of bridging that gap a little bit, you and I, exactly. Right?
Well, Joe, here's an example. I did some research this morning just sitting around before we talked, and I looked up everybody drives a car. Everybody has a car.
Yeah.
I looked up 2015 ES350 Lexus. I looked at CarMax's website, because they have a lot of cars and financing. With A credit, perfect credit, the car payment on that car is $511. With average credit, the car payment is $705. With less than average, it's $735. That's a difference of $224 a month. Now, if you could afford the $735, you could buy a car for $38,500.
Yeah.
You can get a $14,000 better car for the same payment just by having better credit. And the margins on the houses are even more ridiculous. To shorten it, the margin between A credit on a $150,000 house and just below average credit, you're going to pay $66,000 more for the same house.
It's insane. Yeah.
Right. That's where your money goes.
Yep. Interest.
Yep. That's exactly it. So that's the plan. Showing people how to manage their credit. To get diverse a little bit. We go to school, we learn about adjectives, adverbs, calculus, trigonometry, all that stuff that we don't use. Mm-hmm. We don't learn how to balance a checkbook. We don't learn how to manage our finances. We don't learn how to keep the money we earn. We're sending all these kids to college now for these stupid liberal arts degrees and all these crazy things. They have $200,000 in debt, can't pay it back, can't get a job. What about being a carpenter or a plumber or an electrician? Those guys make $100,000 a year, and that's paid off in 2 months.
Yeah, and there's always a need for that trade.
That's right.
Also,
that's right.
So you have your hands in a lot of different businesses with investments and things like that. Goes along those lines. The guys watching this show, hopefully these are going to be people that want to say, all right, well, this sounds great. So how does it help me? So what is your advice to those folks?
We're going to set up some, and we're currently working on that, as you know, working on setting up some trusted partners. Like, example right now, we have Dale Gallant has signed up as our mortgage partner. That being said, Dale Gallant has certain rules and standards that he must adhere to for our people, for the people we refer to him. To go into mortgages, there's origination points, discount points. People don't know about yield spread premium and service release premium. Those are the things they don't know about. That's 8 to 10% of the loan they pay for on the back end they have no idea about. We're limiting all those terms and all those numbers, and Dale is guaranteeing the best possible deal. He'll match and beat anything anybody gets easily because he's cutting out the middleman.
Yeah.
We're going to do the same with credit. We're going to do the same with credit cards. We're going to do the same with auto finance, or just simply give the advice. But if you could save the difference in that, like we talked about, that $224 a month, that's up your supplements. We're going to talk about travel. We have a gentleman named Bobby Horowitz who runs resorts. He's going to show these folks how to travel on pennies instead of dollars. When I first started working for the brokerage, my broker would travel 3-4 times a year. I'm thinking, how's this guy afford this? He's going on $10,000 trips, but he's going on $10,000 trips for $1,500. So
yeah, big differences.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
And people in this industry, they travel frequently, obviously, because if they're either competitors or they're just fans and maybe a little of each. So they might compete in a few shows, but they're also traveling to the other shows. The big ones, the Olympias, is where I met you during Olympia weekend. The Arnold. I mean, you got 200,000 people coming through those doors at the Columbus Convention Center. These are people that are traveling all over, sometimes worldwide, but obviously in the States is kind of more we're concentrating. And there's also a lot of different bodybuilding federations where there are promoters that need to block off hotels for their judges or the people or the vendors that maybe they have part of this also with Expos, which we're going to get into in a moment. So what is some of the advice that you think that the stuff that you and I have been speaking about and that's going to come out on future episodes of this here series where these guys are going to be able to get these type of things for the people that they work with and save money and then in turn be able to get more people to come out to their shows and then make money?
Well, I'll give you an example in what I just did. I arm wrestle a little bit. I have a super match in Australia. And I looked at the flights. I looked at the hotel. I was like, oh, my Lord, my wife's going to kill me. She's going to murder me. So my wife still has her communion money, by the way. She's very cheap. That's Diane. I'm sorry. But so I called up Horowitz. I said, Bobby, man, I got to go to Perth, Australia. What can you do for me?
Yeah.
The trip I got priced out at like $9,000. He's getting me for under $2,000. Same hotel, same airline, same everything.
How?
So he's got access to 650,000 hotels. He's run some of the biggest resorts. He's an insider. In your business, you can call up anybody in the fitness industry and get something 100 times better than I can for the same price. It's just no better way to say it. The world's fixed. And if you're on the in, you're on the in. If you're on the out, you're on the out. He's on the in.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that the Bobby's end brings to the table that'll make, like I said, these promoters and people that are going to be at these expos and at these competitions, what are they going to like? What could we dangle in front of them to make them say, hey, this is something I should be listening to?
Well, there's going to be things where Bobby's going to offer them free stays, free nights, meals, different things like that, superior discounts on rooms, sometimes free stays, free weeks, free rooms, free travel. He's going to put together some amazing packages, basically tailored to their particular needs. I mean, he's not going to sit down with every person and make a custom-made package, but he's going to make enough packages to fit the different groups. Like if you're a competitor, this is what you do. These are the events you go to. So he'll package something up nice for you. If you're a vendor, it's a different scenario.
Yeah.
You have 7, 8, 9, 10 people and you go to these events. Well, he'll package something up for them. So, and we're going to, as you know, we're going to work together with you to develop those packages with the feedback from some of the folks we're talking to, and set these things up. The bottom line, Joe, is it's not how much income you have. There's a term called disposable income. It's what disposable income is what you're left with after you pay your expenses.
Yeah.
How much disposable income you have is most important. So if we could take that gross number and raise your disposable income by saving you $4,000 to $5,000 a year on travel, $3,000 a year on your mortgage, $100 or $1,500 on your car payment, another $1,000 on your credit card. Well, now you're looking at $7,000, $8,000 extra. Free money. It's like getting a second job.
All right. I'm gonna say the unpopular word now. What's the catch, Peter?
The catch is you can't be an asshole.
I'm out. Forget it. See ya.
Well, no, your kind of asshole's okay. You have to have discipline. You have to do what you're supposed to do. You have to, seek out the best deal. You have to work on the best deal. You can't just say, I'm just going to take any mortgage I get. I'm going to go with I'll give you an example. Wells Fargo is going to want to shoot me for this. Wells Fargo says, national company, Bank of America, national company. I'll give you an example. Wells Fargo this August just paid a $2.09 billion settlement for doing fraudulent loans and taking people's houses when they shouldn't. Everybody's like, well, wow, the government kicked their ass. They took $2 billion off them. They netted $376 billion.
Oh, Jesus.
And they paid $2 billion. Got no criminal charges. Can we do that, Joe? I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
So those are the pitfalls we're going to show people how to avoid. Basically, like if you set somebody up on a nutrition and training regimen, you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
That's what there is to it. Pay your bills on time. Be disciplined with that. Focus on if one of our experts look at one of our attorneys for the credit and says, hey, man, you got this debt. You got to pay it down. You got to pay it down.
Yeah. You
got to stick to the plans. You got to do what you're told. And within reason. No one's going to be crazy. But, you work at it. You put the time in.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to go back to the travel aspect only because that's probably going to be a frequent thing that a lot of people do.
It's the biggest expense.
It's the biggest expense. So now, and I'm a creature of habit. To me, I go, okay, I need to book. I'll use, for example, the LA Fit Expo, right? It's the next time I'm going out. Right. I'll go to Orbitz. I'll put Los Angeles Convention Center closest to it. And you don't want to pay through the nose, obviously, but you don't want to stay in a dump either. So what do most people do? They go somewhere in between where it's a little further. They can't walk there. They got to take an Uber, but it's not, where a bunch of junkies and prostitutes are going to be at either. So it's somewhere in the middle. And also now they're dealing with, the prices of the cabs, the food, and all of that stuff. To the average person that's going to this expo, not a vendor, not a competitor, even though there's no contest attached to it, the average Joe or Jane going to it, how do we, in turn, make this a better experience for them instead of them just going on Orbitz and looking for it? What's the key to that?
When you are connected with us, when you do things with us, you'll have a website to go on. You'll have an access code to go on. And basically, it'll allow you wholesale access. It'll allow you access that people who own resorts have. Mm-hmm. So instead of paying, like I was paying, the hotel in Perth is on the water. It's got a pool in the room. It's really nice, beautiful room. It was $1,500 a night. I'm paying $150 a night. Same room, same place, same except I'm up a higher floor, which is better.
Yeah.
So it's just having access to wholesale. If you're buying vitamins, you go to the source, you buy them off the guy, the guy in the little corner, little stand in the mall. You're gonna pay $40 for your protein. You go to the source, you pay $15. It's the same stuff. It's just having that access. It's the same product. You'll get, and he'll get blocks of rooms. Let's say for the Olympia, there was no rooms in Las Vegas for the Olympia. Yeah, Vegas sold out. He had rooms. He always has rooms. There's always rooms because the insiders keep it to themselves.
Yeah, yeah. So now, again, what does somebody have to do to get involved in this kind of thing where they would have access to the better price rooms and so forth?
Well, they gotta contact us. We'll get some contact information as the show goes, and we'll set them up an appointment with Bobby or one of his people, and they'll explain the ins and outs of how things work, and basically show them, show them the ropes. Same thing with the mortgages. We'll have contact information for the people to talk to about your mortgage, whether it be a refinance or a purchase. Yeah. They'll look at what you have and if nothing else, give you good advice. Same thing with the lawyers with the credit. Basically it's going to be an information center. It's going to be like we're all old buddies. We're going to contact all the experts in all the fields, and it's like all of your listeners want to have an expert in every one of those fields. As far as the arm wrestling goes, we've already contracted the UAL, the Ultimate Arm Wrestling League, Mr. Bill Collins. He's setting up events with some of the casinos and some of the venues that Bobby controls. And these are going to be phenomenal events, and there's going to be discounted to free stays for the competitors. It's just another access, another perk, and we can do that with the bodybuilding. We can do that with whoever wants to play can play. We're just trying to grow everything so everybody's got a good fair shot at everything.
Yeah. So again, like a promoter for a show, he obviously he's always getting host hotels and things like that. So we're going to be able to go to this person or persons, if there's a group of them that are promoting, and say to them, you were paying this much at this hotel. We're going to be able to give you a better hotel, and you can offer free rooms now because you're going to get a block at such a good price. You're going to be able to put your whole staff up there and now offer these at a discount to your competitors and fans.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly right. That makes the hotel happy because instead of booking 50 or 60 or 70 or 100 rooms, they might book 300 rooms.
Yeah.
They're buying more food. They're buying more booze. Hotels make money on the stay, but they make more money on the auxiliaries.
Sure. As far as us doing with our expos and things like that, do you want to touch base on any of that stuff?
Well, that's what I was just going to talk about, Joe. I want to brag about you a little bit.
Really?
We're super excited. Bill Collins he's the madman with the Expos.
That's the Bill is from Ultimate Arm Wrestling League.
Yeah, he's booked, and I don't want to say all the Expos by name because we've taken a few off some people, and they'll get used to it. But pretty much every major Expo, we're going to have some space in, and we're going to have you there, and we're so thrilled about having the show there.
I'm thrilled about being a part of this whole thing. With a guy like you and a guy like Bobby involved in it, you're making my part easy. I have to just bring the people to you. We say
the same thing about Bobby and I had a meeting yesterday, and we said the same thing about you. The business part of it is easy. That's what we do every day. That's that's math. 2 and 2 is 4. And we're like, well, how do we get this out there? How do we share this? Having a guy like you who's a legend in the sports media industry.
Legend? Jesus.
Legend.
Did you have any alcohol this morning?
My coach is Russian. Yeah, I had a little vodka.
I was going to say, come on, bro.
Just a little. I got some left. I got a little bit left.
Good. I need some after hearing that. Thank you, but I'm like, Jesus.
No,
let's not turn them off too fast.
No, I mean, and you have access to some other Greg Valentino, legend, Lee Priest, legend. These guys are, and it's just a matter of education. And I don't say education because people aren't intelligent. We're all intelligent people. Mm-hmm. It's just that we don't have access to the answer.
Yeah.
If you don't have access to the answer, you can never figure it out.
Yeah.
And all we're doing is giving access. We're opening the door for everybody to do everything, and which makes more money for everybody.
Yeah, and I basically will just say this to the clientele that I'm going to try to bring to the table. Make that call, make that inquiry. If it's not for you, if you say, hey, I'm not going to be able to do that. Well, okay, you gave it a shot. But if you're going to spend that money anyway, find out why you're spending more than you need to spend, especially if you're doing this multiple times a year, which for the vast majority of these men and women in our industry, in the fitness world, they're doing it. They're living out of a suitcase sometimes.
Right.
Which I'm going to be doing this year, and I'm excited because I'm going to be. The list of expos, like you said, we're not going to start. We'll get to them when we get to them. The first one is LA, which is a great one. It's January 27th to 28th of 2019.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Now, actually, I talked to a gentleman from Russia yesterday.
Really?
Who runs expos over there? So pack it up. Get your little fur hat and whatever you got to wear.
Really? Oh, I can definitely say I've never been to Russia, but I would love to check it out. I mean, there are so many places where fitness-minded people meet and go to these things that if maybe we can offer somebody that's from the States that wants to have a booth at FIBO. Now we can maybe make it more affordable for them to do that, where they wouldn't even think about it.
How awesome would that be to go to Russia or Germany or Prague to compete or show your wares? I mean, that's opening up. You don't realize that's an entirely new market. You look to boost your sales by 2-3% in the States. You're going to triple your sales because you're opening a new market.
And what people fail to realize, supplements internationally in Europe and stuff are very expensive, and they're not easy to get. And a lot of people that I deal with in the supplement industry say, I don't even care about my sales over here. I want to expose my stuff to, what's your international market like? And I'm like, every one of my live shows, I have steady guys. One's in England. I got 2 in Scotland, a couple in England. I got a guy in Germany, a guy in Australia, a guy in South Africa. And they're like, exactly, that's what I want to. I want to advertise my stuff to those guys because it's hard to get that. So imagine if we can get a company that's selling stuff overseas, shipping, but now they're going to be overseas because they'll be at EVL. They'll be at Body Power. They'll be at FIBO. They'll be at the Arnold Classic South Africa because we're going to make it affordable for them to go.
Right.
As a vendor.
It's crazy. I mean, you think about it, it sounds almost ridiculous.
It does. So we have to convince them this isn't all lies.
The biggest problem is people say, well, what's the catch? It's too good to be true.
Yep, and that's what you're going to hear. You're going to hear that part of it because I'm going to be farming these calls to you because that's where your part comes in.
And my answer will be, look at it, make an educated decision. If it's not for you, it's not for you. If it is for you, it is for you. No one's mad at you. You're still our friend. You're still our family. It's all cool.
Yeah.
At least educate yourself into what's out there and what's available.
Yeah, we're gonna get them to the wholesale prices, and they're not gonna have to buy wholesale amounts.
Right.
That's the key, really, here.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's the secret to the success. Like when I talk to the mortgage guy, and I'll use that as a term because I understand mortgage.
Yeah.
And I understand your audience, and I understand numbers and volume. I said to him, if you give our people, this particular deal, which you would give to a loan broker, our people would be basically paying what a loan broker would pay, which is really, really cheap.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to guarantee you X number of business. He's like, well, how can you guarantee me? You don't know anything about this. I said, I understand the mortgage business, and I met Joe. I know things about Joe, and I know things about the mortgage business. We'll put this together, and this is the number. And we worked together for years. He said, Pete, I'll take you at your word. You have the deal. So these people are buying wholesale. It's going to save them probably 5 points a deal. That's crazy.
That's insane, that number. Yeah,
On that refinance where you paid 4 points, we could have got it for a half a point for you. When you paid 10, we might have got you 8.5. We show you how to pay $10 a month extra on your mortgage payment and knock 6 years off your loan. Little tricks, little twists, little angles, how to beat the interest, how to beat the points. That 4 points you paid over the course of the loan, it doubles every 7 years. So it's 4 times double. So it's 8, 16, 32. It's 64 points that you wouldn't have had to pay.
Oh my God. So we're going to show people how they can get car loans cheaper, college loans cheaper, home loans, refinancing loans.
Right.
Another aspect that we haven't touched base on is your son is a personal trainer.
A little bit different. He's not a personal trainer. He does the business end for personal trainers.
Okay, that's what I was getting to, where that's obviously in this industry there is everybody is a personal trainer, per se, right, if you will.
Right.
So your son is showing people how to earn real money as a personal trainer, not what these guys are making maybe $20-30 an hour. They work out with a couple of clients in the gym, and they got to pay the gym their 15%. He's going to show them how to make money as a personal trainer without having to scrimp and save and beg for clients.
Make a business out of it. How to properly market, how to manage your funds, how to set up collections, how to set up merchant accounts where the merchant account will automatically debit the person's card or checkbook every month when the dues are due, instead of wasting 5 days a month, calling collections. Right. Yeah.
So
hey, Pete, your dues are in. Oh shit,
Yeah. So that's another aspect where that's going to bring to this fitness finance program where your son is. What's his name is Peter also.
He goes by Pete.
He goes
He
by
takes
Pete.
it hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Pete Mills, the junior version, is going to show people.
Yeah.
And they're, like I said, this industry, everybody considers themselves a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Even pro bodybuilders, they're not making any money being an IFBB pro.
They're great bodybuilders. They're bad businessmen. That's, they're
Yeah.
not businessmen. They're great bodybuilders. They're strong. They're athletic. They're built like monsters, but they're not businessmen. They can show people how to work out and get in great shape, but they don't know how to manage the business side of it.
So,
I learned a long time ago, Joe, and let me say this right now. I'm not an expert in all these fields we're talking about, not even close.
Mm-hmm.
But what I learned is if you don't know something, find someone who does and ask them.
yes.
So I've developed a book of contacts and relationships over the last 32 years in business. Like now you are my media guy.
Mm-hmm.
Alan West is my TV guy. Alan West, big
Sure.
TV guy.
Yeah.
I know Alan like I know you. We did some things together, and you keep track of these people, and you gain more momentum, more of an army. I don't know shit about cars. I don't know shit about travel, but I got a car guy. I got Bobby Horwitz for the travel, you for the media, Alan for the TV. Everybody. Dale for the mortgage. I know about mortgage, but I don't want to do it. Everybody does their thing, and you get it done, right?
Yeah. No, definitely, and also. A lot of these bodybuilders and other guys, they try to market themselves. I'm sure there's probably people that that are in this marketing industry that they can get, possibly some information from, right?
We got some people who do, and again, I don't, you know how bad I am at computers. I couldn't even figure Skype out, right?
But you did. We're here.
we have people. There's some folks that they do this SEO marketing. Couple of clicks, couple of buttons, couple of pushes.
Yep.
You type in personal training, and your name comes up 45 times in front of everybody else's. It's crazy how they do this stuff. You dial these numbers, and these people, they call back. We have a 2,000 seat phone room in India that we used to use for our bank that we have access to. They can call for these folks. They could set them up appointments. There's so many things that like what made us good in the mortgage business. I'll tell you a little bit of a personal secret. Mortgage leads are very expensive to get a customer to come to the table. The mortgage companies try to keep it under $500, which is still good because they're making 8-9 points. We made a deal with a company in India. We're getting our customers for $25 a piece.
Wow.
So that's just a way to keep your expenses down. And the reason I had to do that, I'm not going to lie, I was broke when I started my business. Mm-hmm. I jacked a phone out of my father's garage. I ran a wire out the window into his garage so I had a different phone number. Seriously, I sat on milk crates with a plywood. That's how I started my business.
Wow.
But you keep your expenses down. So if you make $1 and spend 20 cents, I made 80 cents.
Yeah.
If you make $3 and spend $2.75, you made a quarter.
Yeah.
Who's doing better?
80 cents. Yeah.
It's disposable income. It's what's left. And that's what we're going to teach people. We're not experts on how to make more money. We are experts on how to get more customers. We are experts on how to save the revenues that you earn. We're experts on how to spend $1,500 to take your whole team to an expo as opposed to $8,000. Yeah. We're making that 80 cents into 85 cents.
Yeah.
And that keeping those pennies in your pocket turn into dollars, turn into tens of thousands of dollars. Simple solution.
So basically, people that are interested in being able to do what they love to do and what they've been doing and they're going to do anyway, they can do it with a lot less money being spent, which would give them more money to spend and market themselves in more places. Like you said, more vendors, more different expos. They can only afford one booth, the smallest booth at this one expo. You're going to show them that that's complete nonsense.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. What you say is, okay, instead of spending $2,500 at that shit booth where you're going to get 200 walk-ups, you spend $500 with a commercial on your show, who's going to see hundreds of thousands of people. You spend another $200 with the SEO guy to market the show, to send people emails of the show on your show, to send a copy of your show to customers.
Yeah.
Well, now you spend $700 and you saw 8,000 people. Tremendous.
Instead of that small booth in the corner that's behind the garbage, the disposal thing.
Instead of spending $2,500 on a shit booth, and I never knew this, and I learned this by talking to Bill. And I was on a call yesterday with another guy for another expo. Bill wanted me on the call because we were talking about money, and they pick who they want to have the good booth. Mm-hmm. And there's a huge difference. You know that. I didn't know this. Like, this booth is great. This booth 30 feet away sucks.
Yep. Yeah, it's location. prime real estate. Yeah.
I'm like, it's only 30 feet away, Bill. What's the difference? Oh, no, this one gets, 2,000 people. This one gets 22,000 people.
Corners are big depending on where they are. The last corner on the last aisle might not be as good as the corner right by the main entrance for obvious reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I'm pretty excited about something I said. With the booths, there's a main entrance because people have to pay to get and show their tickets.
Yeah.
I asked if I could set up a table just for handing out information outside the front door. The guy's like, why would you want that? I said, I just think it'd be a good idea. We're going to see everybody.
Everybody's going to come past that spot.
Everybody. And it's going to be a little paper saying, go see Joe get a chance to be on MS Radio at booth 402. And they're all going to come up to you. And at that point, here we go.
We're gonna have people go, oh, what are you gonna have at your booth? We're gonna do live shows, we're gonna do interviews. Oh yeah, we're gonna have some people there that people are gonna recognize and stuff like that. But my main thing is the regular people walking through the expo. I want them to come behind the booth and say hi and get on an interview.
Yes,
to me, that's how I like to market my business. Is not just, hey, look at who we're talking to. It's like, no, we're talking to you. That's the whole MSM family attitude. It's not who we got. It's who's watching us. Now, you're part of the show.
It's who we are. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I consider myself part of it already. That's just
absolutely.
who you are. It's engaging. How many, lead priests are there? There's one. Greg Valentino's, there's one.
Yeah.
There's 100,000 Pete Millses out there. There's a lot of regular people.
Yeah.
Who love the sports, who love to do these things, who are into it. Not everybody's Lee Priest, not everybody's Lee Haney, not everybody's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. But, at 10 o'clock at night when they're in their mirror with their underwear on, they are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to have the women are going to be the MSM Maidens. I've already christened the name for this new whole venture that we're doing together. So I want every guy that wants to take a picture with the MSM Maidens to come to our booth, stand in the booth with the backdrop and take a picture. Now, they're going to post this on Instagram. Everybody that posts this on Instagram, they're going to see my logo. And now they're going to know because we're going to filter them towards where you guys are going to be. So It's basically what I'm doing is I'm making them part of the team, part of the family, part of the show. And now we're going to be able to, even if they aren't watching this finance show, they're going to know about it because we're going to have different things at these booths where we're going to expose them to this. Like, hey, how much did you spend for that hotel? Where are you guys staying? Oh, come meet us for a drink. Where are you staying? Oh, we're staying at some shithole hotel we had to take a $20 cab. Next year, we're going to be able to get you in the same hotel we are, the host hotel, and you're going to pay less than you paid there. So that's how I'm going to market this thing to bring it to you. But these people are going to have their own segments. Your son Pete's going to have his segment on how to earn money as a personal trainer, and all these other guys are going to have their areas. But definitely, I think the travel part of it is going to be one that's what kind of really my antennas went up when we first started talking in Vegas because it fit what I was doing. All right, I do that already. I know what I got to do. I know I'm going to be going to the Arnold in Ohio. I know I'm going to be going to the LA Fit Expo. I know I'm going to be going to the Olympia next September. So if you are the same as I am and you know you're going to be going to these things as a fan, competitor, media person, wherever, promoter, this is stuff that we're going to show you. Hey, we can maybe give you some money. You can save money and still get all your stuff accomplished.
That's where you're going to make the biggest slash immediately. That's going to show the most impact.
Yeah.
Like, saving a couple $100 a month on your mortgage is going to take time to accumulate your savings, which is still great. Don't get me wrong. But you're going to save, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 this year on travel. It's a huge step.
That's a big difference.
It's definitely a big piece. So it's going to make the biggest impact. Yeah, of course. Or the UAL, Bill Collins, the Ultimate Arm Wrestling League. I saw the plans he has for this year, but I swore I gave him my word I wouldn't divulge anything. But start going arm wrestlers, www.theual.com. Huge year for arm wrestling. Tremendous year. Casinos involved, gambling involved, trips involved.
The gaming industry is also involved with this whole thing.
Yes, they are.
Peter Mills, I want to thank you so much for joining us today on this special edition of MuscleSport TV with fitness and financing. And we are going to be speaking very soon, and we're going to let a lot of people in on our little secret that we brokered together this past Olympia just a few short weeks ago.
Perfect.
Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to finish my vodka now.
Please do.